Hey there, it's Teresa on this gray, cloudy, rainy Monday. Isn't there a song? Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Well, I'm not down. There's a lot percolating here. In fact, as I said, all weekend I've been getting this sense that I need to speak to something that's so for my clients, so true for so many people. And this morning it was really loud. So even though I have not had a lot of time to exactly know what I want to share here, I decided to just go live and share what's coming through. So I'm looking to see, I'm using some new technology here, this Be Live TV thing to stream my live streams. So I'm learning how it works here. So first I'm going to see if I can see who's here. Let's see. I think I see Marlene. Are you here? Am I seeing that you're here right now? Viewers. And who else is here? Fiorella. Great. All righty. So I think I'm reading this right. Bear with me as I learn. Okay, Barb's on. Yay. Thanks, Barb. Glad to see. I'm getting some feedback here. Carol's on. Great. So I get to share this important message that's coming through. Hey, Shayna, at the same time I get to practice using new technology with you. So I'm really just putting it out here this afternoon. So glad you could join us. So, true story. This is the fall of 1991, and I just met Dan, who now is my husband, by the way. And we had been on one date. We met at a party. Then I manipulated this picnic to have an excuse to get together and see him again. It worked. Then I planned another picnic, and then we went to one movie. So that was our history. And now we were going to go on a camping trip for the weekend. Well, yeah, for at least overnight. No, for the weekend. We were going for the weekend. Now, I had been tent camping a few times, but I didn't have any of my own camping equipment. And what I had learned about Dan was he was an Eagle Scout and he'd been camping lots. And so I didn't want him to know that I didn't have much camping experience. I didn't want him to think that I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want him to think that I was a rookie. So I went and bought a bunch of camping equipment. I bought cookware for cooking, and I bought a new sleeping bag. I didn't go so far as to buy a tent. He said he had that. But I bought all this camping equipment. And so I have these bright new pots and pans and cooking ware for camping, and they're all bright and shiny and new. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't let him see that they're bright and shiny and new, because then he's going to know that I just went and bought it, which is going to kind of wreck the message that I wanted to send, that I'm a veteran at this camping thing. And so I went out in my driveway and I took all this brand new shiny steel cookware, pots and pans, and I grabbed stones and I scratched them. and I took a hammer and I beat them just a little so that they looked worn, like I'd used them a lot, like I was a veteran. I really couldn't win. I couldn't stand in, hey, Dan, I've only gone camping a few times, don't know much about it, but I sure would love to go. And I couldn't stand in, I bought this new stuff to impress you. It was like, either way, at some level, I wasn't good enough the way I was. Can any of you, by any chance, relate to this? Yeah. So then Dan and I got married and we moved to Minnesota, where we were going to build our network marketing business. It was going to be our full-time business. This was our new life that we were going to create. Now, if you've ever been involved with network marketing, a big part of the business is, of course, selling the products, but also enrolling other people in the business with you to join your team. So, of course, I need people to think I'm successful at my business, or else they wouldn't want to join it, right? So what's the best way to act successful? Well, I'd take people out to lunches and I'd take people out for coffee. And guess who picked up the tab? Regardless of the fact that I was only making $300 a month in our business. And because I had quit my full-time job, we didn't have any other income. If they knew that, oh my gosh, my business would never succeed. It was in that environment that I first heard the principle, fake it till you make it. How many of you ever have heard that principle, heard that before? Maybe even have tried to follow that advice. Let me see some reactions from you. Yeah. The problem with fake it till you make it, in how most of us practice it, is in effect what we're doing is we're trying to hide the truth of who we are and pretend to be someone we're not. And in becoming what I call a great pretender, creating this impression of being successful, Shana's going, this is getting even more painful. Oh, I hear you. In being even, being so successful and having our act together and being good at business and, all of this sort of stuff, the more we have to fake it till we make it, we're putting this facade, this appearance out in the world. And notice where my hands are. To do that, we have to put up a mask, or a block, or a wall, or an image, or a facade, and that blocks things that we want from getting in, and it also blocks things that we maybe don't want from getting out. We're stuck. It's going to get really painful right now, Shana. So much so that back in the year 2000, when I was going to jump into this web world, and this is before there was WordPress or free codes or all that sort of stuff. You had to pay someone to code your website. I created this huge website. I mean, huge. I think it had like 25, 30 or more pages back then. I bought thousands and thousands of pictures to create this fun energy. I finally had to stop building it and just launch it incomplete, no back end, no database, no automatic administration, when we reached $25,000 for it. And I realized I couldn't spend anymore. I thought I had to be more than I was. I had to project to the world a more abundant picture than was true. I thought I had to look bigger and better than I really was. And this pattern of pretending, of faking, of trying to be other than we are, never supports abundance, especially with money. Because then what you'll wind up doing is you'll spend money you don't really have to create this appearance, to keep up this impression, to look the part. And then behind that facade, you're freaking out. You're feeling the pressure. You're feeling the fear. You're feeling the shame. And you absolutely can't do anything in terms of getting support to change it. You got to figure it all out yourself, do it yourself, because otherwise they're going to find out the truth. And in your mind, and in my mind, and in so many of my clients' minds, we think that the truth makes us less than, makes us not enough, makes us like people wouldn't want to work with us or do business with us, or we don't have anything to offer. And so we fall into the trap of how we measure our worth and our value based on what we make or what we have or the titles or whatever, instead of getting that it comes from who we are. Here's the thing. That block that we put out, that pretense of me like, oh yeah, I'm a veteran camper, can't you tell? Or, ooh, am I the abundant coach? Look at how impressive I am with my website. Or, oh, Teresa must be really succeeding in her business because she's like buying lunches and buying dinners for us all. The problem with that and the hiding of it and the block of that is that very stuff we're hiding still has our power. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to hide it. You with me? And we cannot create or access abundance in our lives, especially around money, and at the same time give our power away. Give our power away to our fears of what people will think. Give our power away to the beliefs we have of somehow we're not enough, we're not good enough unless we have this or have done this. To give our power away to the shame and the frustration and the confusion and the feelings not good enough that we have. And here's the other thing that happens for people like me and so many of my clients who are great pretenders, who take that fake it till you make it and we use it to go in the opposite direction. We drown more and more, is that then we become great avoiders and we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with our money. We don't want to deal with our business. We're afraid to do anything because then they may find out. We put all our energy into hiding what's true. And so we don't have any energy for healing what's true and for discovering what's true that we don't know and can't see because we're so in the stuff. Let me just check here if I've got something else that I want to say. And I also want to read some of the comments here. This is going to take me a minute because I'm getting used to this. Shane is like going, yeah, sounds like Shane is definitely seeing a lot of this. Barb's relating to this. Debbie's relating to this. So what's the way out of this great pretending? How can you begin to claim your power, especially if the pretending, the hiding, the faking it till you make it is having you go backwards or into a hole around money? Well, this is what I love to support people to do, and I'm excited on this video to announce a new way I get to support people around this. So now here I get. I want you, okay, this is supposed to show. Is it showing? Yes, I think it's showing. This is a brand new web page I've created, www.Claim Your Money Power, where you can read about a free 90-minute webinar I'm going to be doing. I've addressed it to people. I've designed it for people who are great pretenders, who are trying to fake it to make it and it hasn't worked. Who try to look successful and hide the fact that they're not successful. If that's you, please go over and reserve your spot there right now. If this is really resonating and you can now see just in this quick video how you're faking it till you make it, how you trying to be a great pretender and hide has maybe made you a great avoider or has robbed you of your power, has been disempowering you, and you'd like to work with me in a more concentrated manner, then PM me on Facebook and let me know, and I will send you information about another more intensive way I can work with you, which also begins with something free, a free strategy call with me. The message that I want to leave you with here is this. It seems counterintuitive. If, like me, for much of your life, even if you can't really name it, but some part of you deep inside thinks like something's wrong with you, or you don't fit in, or you're not important, or you're not good enough. And so you have to pretend to be somebody you're not, or you have to pretend to be more than you are. You can't let yourself or others see the real you with your great gifts and your struggles and challenges in areas where things aren't going so well. It seems so counterintuitive to like tell the truth, to let yourself be where you are, to let someone else see the truth, to open to support instead of keep the facade up and try and figure it out all yourself. And yet that's exactly the path. I go back to that seemingly innocuous buying new camp wear and then making it look like it was veteran camp wear to Dan. At some level, I couldn't trust that he would like me the way I was. But the downside of that is then I also couldn't trust that he really liked me and not the illusion or perception of me that I created. And that's how we block love, and that's how we block money, and that's how we block joy, and that's how we block freedom. It's how we block us. And my wish for you, my friends, is that you can open up and show up and take down that faking it and be who you are where you are. And if where you are isn't where you want to be, then open up to getting support so that you can be where you want to be and be who you really are, all that you're meant to be. And if you think I might be part of that support, then know I'd love that opportunity. Again, www.claimyourmoneypower.com for the free webinar. PM me if you want to have a more intense opportunity to work with me, beginning with a free strategy call. Let me one last check. Thanks for comments. Love you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, Dan would have loved teaching me what he knew about camping. Yeah, probably would have been absolutely great and wonderful, but I didn't know. Shana went back into history to see the old $25,000 website. Yeah, so I continue to want to hear your feedback and your questions and your comments. If this resonated with you, if that spoke with you. And of course, if you have any feedback on how this technology worked, I'd also love that. I might be talking about the great avoiders later this week, so stay tuned. I'll be live again sometime. Blessings on all of you. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.